What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight. This is season 14, episode 12, and this is the final installment to my series of all the couples. So right now we're gonna do Mark and Lindsey. So for those who are new to my channel, if you're not familiar, I do reviews on reality shows, and with Married at First Sight, I do couple by couple instead of scene by scene. And also, I pick out little details that you may not see. I don't get every single thing, and that's what I look for y'all to do. Drop down in those comments. Let me know what you think, how you feel, what you saw. Because on this channel, as the number one commenter, it's all about the comments. And the motto of this channel is say what you say. Get down to those comments if you want to talk about uh, Lindsey drinking all day and hanging out at the rooftop with a larger one all night, or you want to talk about Mark eating goldfish all day. Just get down in it. Say what you got to say. So let's go ahead and get in the review. It starts off with Mark. He's creating a whiteboard at home, and the whiteboard is supposed to like bring structure and organization for him and Lindsey. So I guess he's just trying to do something positive for their marriage if things seem chaotic. And I'm sure they seem chaotic. Mark doesn't have a job, and he shows it to Lindsey when she comes in. And immediately, Lindsey pretty much picks the whiteboard apart of saying, like, how this needs to be done, how that, and what she can and can't do. And she even mentioned that in her confessional, she think Mark, he suffers from only childhood syndrome. And I kind of get that vibe from her because like she has to have things her way every single time. If he makes a suggestion, she just like runs over it and tell him what he need to do. And I get it. That is a real thing because even though people are adults, their childhood experience they kind of show up in the way they live. And I get it. I'm a only child. I don't have any siblings, and I could kind of reflect and know that like I like things the way I like them, and I'm not used to sharing things, and I'm not used to have to consider a whole lot of other people. And I get that. So for people who grew up with siblings and a big family, they are always thinking, how to deal with other people or incorporate other people in other things. So they definitely come from a different mindset. But to me, really looks like Lindsey's been the only child. So they got the little plan. They got the whiteboard is going to break down like how they going to meal prep, when they're going to sit down and watch a movie, or when they're going to play with each cat and all that kind of stuff. Just to get some organization and get some structure, because I'm sure they got their lives are shaken up, so they definitely got to come together and try to incorporate in each other's lives. And I thought it was a good idea. So we see Mark now. I don't know if this was on the whiteboard, but he's down at the beach living the dream. He down there, tossing the football around with his fellow unemployed cast member, none other than Steve. The former sales engineer. So they tossing the football around and everything, just having fun. And you see Mark, he's always going. I guess he's going to, let's say he's a bit delusional, or he's either lying. He tells Steve that things are pretty much going better than he thought, and they have just such good times, but they have tough conversations. And when you listen to Mark, it sounds almost like a child trying to explain something that doesn't make sense. So he pretty much told Steve, he really cares about Lindsey as a person, and that he needs to know like where she's coming from and all the noise she's bringing to the table. And I'm like, what? I had to write that down just to kind of process. I'm like, Mark, what are you talking about? He says things that maybe he doesn't think people are listening. He just says like anything. But Mark does say that he's pretty much overwhelmed by Lindsey planning in the future. And I'm thinking that could be kind of stressful for him because like his future is uncertain. He's dealing with like sick mom, sick grandmother. He for real just lost his job, got fired like Steve, and so the future seems uncertain. And on top of that, his what they've been together about 5 weeks. His time with Lindsey's been so hostile. I'm sure he's not even fully decided like if he really wants to be with her or if he even likes her. So talking children and combining everything would get pretty much overwhelming. And Steve asked Mark, he was asking like, well, Mark, how do you like work from home so far? And Mark said his eyes got the Mark the Shark big, like, no, understand. I'm not working from home. I had to take a leave of absence and because I can't come to work as I once did or whatever. I guess maybe Married at First Sight is affecting his scheduling, or maybe Lindsey made it change his schedule. But either way, he's not working. So midday nap Steve gave Mark the advice of pretty much, well, as far as you finding a job, I guess it really doesn't matter because earning a living is the most important thing. And I had to look at the TV. I was like, is that Steve saying that? Earning a living is the most important thing. Whatever Steve got into, his secret bank account in the Turks and Caicos or whatever, he's not earning a living. And he doesn't hold that as a priority. So I really thought that was like crazy that he could offer Mark that advice. But I mean, just the same way like Lil Michael, when it comes to somebody else's marriage, they love to get very involved, very insightful, very forward, ready to speak up, but they can't apply it to their own marriages. So they show Mark in the grocery store, and Mark is like, he's with Lindsey. He's stressed out, not because Lindsey's getting on his nerves, but Mark's saying like they got a budget of $150, so he looks concerned. And I get that. I don't know if Lindsey knows that they're on a budget. I can't remember if he told her or not, but Lindsey gonna do what she want to do anyway. And Mark kind of gets irritated with Lindsey because she started like pick out all these fruits and vegetables. And not only that, it was irritating because Lindsey kept asking Mark, well, do you like this? Do you like watermelon? Do you like cantaloupe? Do you like grapes? Do you like strawberries? Do you like bananas? Mark is like, no. It's like talking to a 7-year-old who only wants to eat chicken nuggets and pizza. And I could get that kind of throws Lindsey off because Mark is like 40 years old, so all he eats is goldfish and pizza. So I can see how that bothers her, but she already knows that and understands that. But I think she gets a kick out of like just trying to, pick with Mark. And Mark was like really irritated because Lindsey like went way over the budget because she got all these fruits and vegetables. He made it sound like she was doing something like ridiculous or something like that. But Mark doesn't eat vegetables, and that's like really weird. I get like a little kid doesn't do that because you have to make a little kid do that. But Mark is in his close to 40. Let's call him 40, and he doesn't eat fruits and vegetables. And that's kind of it seems kind of ridiculous because like his former job, like a former gym membership salesman, he is not health conscious. He don't look like, he works out. He looks like he used to be athletic, but that's like long gone. And just to not eating fruit and vegetables at all, like what kind of life is he living? But that's how it goes. Nothing is ever how it looks. That's what I'm gonna say. Because like Mark is supposed to be about health and fitness, and he's always even wearing his gym shirts, I guess, to advertise the gym that he's at. And he doesn't even work anymore, and he's still wearing it to the grocery store. So, Mark is a little different. But I get it how Lindsey's think is kind of weird, and I get it how Mark is aggravated that Lindsey keeps trying to make him eat vegetables when he only eats goldfish and pizza. So it's just such a dynamic. But like I said, they pick these people on purpose because they know it's going to be entertaining. Mark got turned down the first time when it was Married at First Sight at Boston. It was for a reason, and this time they say, you know what, we really ain't looking for nobody to match up and fall in love, while they're married and all that. Let's go get weird Mark the Shark, and it's really working. So you know how it goes when the camera crew goes away from production, but they still got cameras in the house. During the after hours, Mark and Lindsey, they have like a huge argument, and they it's about Lindsey's clothes. Mark, I guess he's washed or dried some of her clothes, and she said it was like 3 pieces of clothing that cost $250. And the way she was coming off, Mark just automatically got defensive, which I understand because it was like he was under attack. Lindsey was pissed, but she wasn't having a conversation. And Mark said like he apologized, but she wasn't having it. And we know how, let's say, lethal Lindsey's tongue can be. So instead of just, I guess, being upset or trying to calm down, she started bringing up other examples of how Mark has just been, just so inconsistent. And, that wasn't the right move. It wasn't at all, because I guess it was supposed to be about the clothes, but it just blew up. It just blew up after that. And Lindsey pretty much said in her dramatic confessional that Mark is pretty much on the outs with her, and she don't even know if Mark can even get back. And she was going on Mark. She was like, Mark is clueless. He's failing in every aspect of this marriage, and she's pretty much done. And she doesn't know Mark can get back in. So Lindsey says that just Mark shows zero consistency. Like he created the whiteboard for organization. He doesn't follow through. He's saying like they'll do check-ins like in the evening, make sure everything is okay. They're on a good footing. He doesn't want to talk. He walks out the room. He says he wants to discuss their future, but he won't even talk about how much rent he can afford. And I got that part because he don't have a job. He only know how much money he's gonna get. So yeah, Mark is stressed out, and of course this process isn't the right time for Mark. It wasn't the first time, and it wasn't for this. But again, they want the drama. And Lindsey's just like, she's so done. She look like she be crying all night. She look like she been drinking all day. And so she telling, she getting like real dramatic. Mark is no man of hers, and he's no friend of hers. So she's all done. She's just done with Mark again. She breaks up with Mark like every week because she gets tired of him. But she didn't really do that bad. She was just, I'm going to say she was a little aggressive. Normally she could go a little harder. I don't want her to see her do that, but I can only imagine by Mark being non-confrontational, it's like a war zone. He don't know when Lindsey's going to be set off. So how could he ever get close to her or feel connected with her or grow with her? He's just waiting for the next, the bomb to blow up. So Mark meets with his friend Erica. They met for breakfast, and he's known her about 7 years. And what Mark pretty much says only a couple of phrases about anything that they ask about his marriage. It's been a lot. It's just been a lot. And he always tells her how great things are with Lindsey, but they just have tough conversations, but they have fun. And the friend is like, well, explain yourself. Tell me what's going on. And he reveals to his friend Erica that Lindsey pretty much has that Jasmina communication thing going on, where like she can yell at you, but when you start yelling back, she be like, why are you talking to me like that? So he's saying that comes from her childhood, and that's her trigger, but she doesn't recognize that she's yelling at you, and that's what started it. And I didn't realize that, but it's no secret that a lot of these couples, or I'm gonna say all these couples, they have trouble in the areas of communication, which is probably one of the most important components in a successful relationship. So the friend pretty much tells Mark that like, hey, that sweeping under the rug method don't work. You really have to be open and honest. And Lindsey should be talking about like what your future is going to look like. Y'all been doing this for 5 weeks, so rightfully so. So Mark knew that his friend Erica was going to give it to him straight. People give Mark advice all the time, but the question is he going to, follow through on it? So, we'll see. So Lindsey wants to do another sweep under the rug moment at the house because she's pretty much saying like they operate best when they're having fun. They really can't have serious conversations because something's really going to go wrong. So she decided to, get all the children the cats, the house of cats. When you got I hate that house. I mean, just to look at it, you see the cats all on the counter and all. I'm like, that's where the food go. That's where the pizza go. But I don't know. That may be all right with cat people. Like your pets can go where your food goes, and to me, that's problematic. But she dresses them up in all little costumes, and the cats didn't really like it, and they were acting weird. And I guess you would act weird too if somebody put some clothes on you and you don't wear clothes. But it was, I guess, it was a cute idea, but it really didn't work out. So Mark came in. He liked what he saw with the cats and everything. She knew what she was trying to do because she's really setting up a family photo shoot. And they sit down. Mark and Lindsey sit down and have dinner. And again, Lindsey keeps being Lindsey. I saw where it kind of started. She's trying to force feed Mark into eating foods that she knows that he won't like. And Mark is like, stop, making a fuss. No, I don't like it. And she'll keep asking me like, no, I don't want it. He'll just eat it. And like, you like that? You like that? Is that good? Like, no. Oh, and then she'll insult him like, oh, you're suspect. All of that's a problem. I get it that it is kind of strange that your grown 40-year-old husband only eats what? Goldfish, pizza, chicken nuggets, and that kind of thing. But the fact that you try to force him to do it instead of maybe introduce or saying that he wants to do it, but then when he doesn't want to do it, you insult him, or he tries it and he doesn't like it and you insult him. I mean, who would want to deal with that? I mean, it don't even make sense, but that's how Lindsey is. We've been warned about her earlier, but I'm not surprised. And for real, I'm about to say Lindsey's just as bad as, I'm about to say Lajuan. I can't say that, but she pretty close. So while they're eating, Mark made the big mistake in trying to open up and be vulnerable, but he was taking his friend Erica's advice about like just being honest and saying like the way they've been, like Lindsey talks to him, it kind of sets him off when she yelling, and it makes, like, I guess it makes him yell because he's defensive, but Lindsey shuts that down immediately. It seems like she can't receive criticism, and she's pretty much saying Mark is like pointing the finger instead of looking at what he's done, and he's upset. So Lindsey does this thing where she acts like she's genuine and does that petting with Mark or rubbing on him. Be like, no, stop. I'm trying to talk to you. You trying to do that? So, I'm done with it. I'm done. Like, you done? I just don't want you grabbing on me and all that. I don't know if she's not conscious of it or it's a manipulative thing, but what she does is just that mama bear coddling Mark or kind of being dismissive when he's trying to talk about something. And I could really see how that would irritate Mark. And I'm glad he's kind of standing up or speaking up for himself, because it's time. Because they're never going to get anywhere if he just keeps sweeping things under the rug or just keep being quiet. So pretty much the mood of everything is shot. Now, like, Lindsey doesn't really want to do the photo shoot, but like Mark is like really asking it, like the roles are reversed. Now Mark is pretty much begging Lindsey to be in the photo shoot. You're like, well, do you want me to be here? And he has to say the words like, yes, I want you to be here. We should just go ahead and take the photo shoot. We got 5 cats. We got 5 weeks, and let's just do this thing or whatever. And once he begs her, she's with it. But they do the little photo shoot, and it don't look like nothing. Just look like them taking pictures on the couch with 5 cats. And you can see that their energy's off even in the pictures. So, they're struggling as usual. And I really just hope Mark just says no on decision day, because he needs to stand up for himself. He know he don't like Lindsey. He know he's scared around her and all that. He's nervous because of the confrontation. There's just no reason to go. He don't even like her. So anyway, that was pretty much it for the House of Cats and dysfunction. So drop down in the comments. Tell me what y'all thought. Maybe some things I missed. Maybe y'all see it another way. Let me know. Let's get down in the comments and get engaged. All right. Well, as I say, I appreciate y'all to continue to rock with me. This is the last segment of Married at First Sight with Mark and Lindsey. And I say this too. Y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.